LinkedIn presents.
When everything's spinning, we like to believe we'll rise to our training, to our values, our beliefs. But the truth is, we don't rise. We revert to our instincts, our core wiring. That's why understanding your attributes, identity, and objectives is vital.
Good morning. I'm Michael Kovnat, and this is the Next Big Idea Daily. Quick masterclasses from the best new books written and read for you by the authors themselves. Now, as you probably know, when the going gets tough, a lot of us just fall apart. Whether it's stress on the job or at home, most of us human beings just aren't built to handle a real crisis. But some people, a select few, seem to be able to perform brilliantly under pressure, as if the pressure itself makes them perform better. So how do they do it? And how can the rest of us do it too? Well, those are questions Rich Diviney spent 2 decades exploring as a Navy SEAL. He led some of the most elite teams on the planet, ran the SEALs Mind Gym to train performance under pressure, and now he helps business and athletic leaders do the same. In his new book, Masters of Uncertainty, the Navy SEAL way to turn stress into success for you and your team, Rich shares the tools you can use to perform at your best, even when everything around you is falling apart. Rich joins us with the insights from his book right after this quick break.
From LinkedIn News, I'm Leah Smart, host of Everyday Better, an award-winning podcast dedicated to personal development. Join me every week for captivating stories and research to find more fulfillment in your work and personal life. Listen to Everyday Better on the LinkedIn Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From LinkedIn News, I'm Jessie Hempel, host of the Hello Monday podcast. Start your week with the Hello Monday podcast. We'll navigate career pivots. We'll learn where happiness fits in. Listen to Hello Monday with me, Jessie Hempel, on the LinkedIn Podcast Network or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, I'm Rich Diviney. I spent 21 years as a Navy SEAL, leading and operating on missions around the globe. In that time, I not only completed multiple combat deployments, but I also had the honor of serving as the commanding officer of a SEAL command. One of my most pivotal roles was running a specialized selection and assessment program for one of our most elite SEAL units. That experience sparked a deep curiosity in me. What makes someone able to thrive in conditions of extreme stress, challenge, and uncertainty? Why do some people falter when the pressure rises, while others step forward with clarity and strength? Over the years, I became obsessed with answering that question. And what I discovered is this: high performance under pressure isn't limited to Navy SEALs. It's not about being fearless or superhuman. It's about tapping into human capabilities that we all possess, capabilities that can be trained, honed, and applied in any environment. In my new book, Masters of Uncertainty, the Navy SEAL way to turn stress into success for you and your team, I break down the tools, mindsets, and methods that allow individuals and teams to perform at their best, even when the future is unclear. Today, I want to share some of those key insights with you. Insight 1. Uncertainty is the only certainty. On May 2nd, 2011, a SEAL team launched one of the most daring missions in modern history, the operation to capture or kill Osama bin Laden. They trained relentlessly. They built a replica of the compound. They rehearsed every move down to the second. And the moment they got on target, everything changed. One of the helicopters crashed, timelines shifted, entry points failed. All that preparation didn't mean much unless they could adapt. That mission succeeded not because they had a perfect plan, but because they knew how to perform inside the chaos. That's what Masters of Uncertainty is about. You see, peak performance is a myth. It depends on perfect conditions, and life is rarely perfect. What matters more is optimal performance, showing up with the best you have in that moment, no matter what the best looks like in that moment. I'll show you how to develop that kind of performance. It's the kind that's fluid, resilient, real, because uncertainty isn't a curveball. It's the game. Once you stop chasing perfection and start learning to thrive inside the unpredictable, you unlock your true edge. the mastering uncertainty method. Here's the truth no one tells you. High performers don't have superpowers. What they do have is a system, one that allows them to take the raw chaos of a moment and make it work in their favor. That system is what I call the mastering uncertainty method, and it's not theoretical. I built it by observing elite SEALs, world-class athletes, and business leaders who consistently perform under pressure. What I noticed was this: they weren't calm by accident. They practiced something specific, something trainable. The first part of the method, Move Horizons, is what you have to do when the world is swirling. You anchor in the present and ask, what do I know and what can I control? Like George, an ultra runner I met who started his journey at 450 pounds, day 1, he bought the shoes. Day 2, he put them on. He moved horizons, one mailbox, one street corner at a time, until he ran a marathon. Then there's keep going, learning to set meaningful goals that trigger the brain's dopamine system. And stay cool, the art of modulating your stress response to stay focused and clear-headed. These steps aren't abstract. They're rooted in how humans are wired. And once you train them, you'll discover you were built for uncertainty all along. Attributes, identity, and purpose as drivers of behavior. When everything's spinning, we like to believe we'll rise to our training, to our values, our beliefs. But the truth is, we don't rise. We revert to our instincts, our core wiring. That's why understanding your attributes, identity, and objectives is vital. I'll never forget one SEAL candidate during assessment who, on paper, was a rock star, physically gifted, razor-sharp, and highly trained. But when things got murky and unpredictable, he couldn't make decisions. Why? Because he lacked the attributes we couldn't teach: adaptability, resilience, and situational humility. In that moment, it wasn't his skills that failed him. It was who he was underneath them. This part of the book is about helping you discover who you are when things aren't going according to plan, when the tools fall away and only your instincts remain. You'll learn to identify the traits that drive you, reshape the beliefs that hold you back, and root everything in a sense of purpose that doesn't crack under pressure. In uncertainty, the person you are matters far more than the roles you play. Dynamic subordination and trust in teams. Here's a question I love to ask teams. When the plan falls apart, who leads? Because in high-stakes environments, it's not always the person with the rank, it's the person with the clarity. We call that dynamic subordination. It's a principle we lived by in the SEAL teams. Leadership flowed to the person with the most relevant expertise in the moment, not the most stripes on their sleeve. That only works in one kind of culture, one built on trust. I remember one mission where our comms guy, normally the quietest person in the group, stepped up mid-operation and made the call that saved lives. He wasn't the senior guy, he wasn't the loudest, but he had the best information and we trusted him enough to follow. Most teams say they want adaptability, but they don't build the trust required to make it real. In this section of the book, I teach how to build that trust, how to implement dynamic subordination, and how to create a culture where leadership is a function of the moment, not title. When uncertainty hits, rigid hierarchy cracks. Trust flexes, flex wins. Stress as a performance enhancer. Most of us treat stress like it's the enemy, something to fight off, push down, or escape. But here's a radical idea. Stress isn't the problem. Misused stress is. Your stress response, what scientists call autonomic arousal, is built to help you. It gives you energy, alertness, and even clarity. It's what helped me stay sharp jumping out of planes, navigating combat zones, or stepping onto a keynote stage. The challenge is knowing when to turn the dial up and when to turn it down. This chapter is about rewiring your relationship with stress. I'll teach you the same breath work, visual cues, and mental framing used by elite performers. Because once you stop fearing stress and start partnering with it, you unlock performance you didn't know was possible. Stress isn't the villain, it's the voltage. You just have to learn how to use it. The truth is, uncertainty isn't going anywhere. It's not something we can outplan, outmuscle, or outrun. But we can learn to meet it with strength, clarity, and purpose. What I've shared with you today, the insights from masters of uncertainty, aren't reserved for elite warriors or high performers. They're human tools, and they live inside of you. Whether you're leading a team, navigating change, or just trying to show up better in your life, the ability to move forward in the unknown is a trainable skill, one that starts with awareness, grows with intention, and gets stronger every time you choose to lean in rather than pull back. So I'll leave you with this. Don't wait for certainty. It may never come. Instead, learn to master the moment you're in. That's where your power lives.
Thank you, Rich. Okay, everyone, you can get a copy of Masters of Uncertainty wherever you get your books. That's our show for the day. If you got something out of it, please leave us a rating or review in your podcast player. We really appreciate it. And head on over to the App Store to download our Next Big Idea app. With that, you'll be able to have thousands of big ideas right in your pocket. I'm Michael Kovnat. Hope to see you tomorrow.